There is a virus living inside your brain right now. You did not choose to catch it. You were infected before you could walk or talk or understand what was happening. Your parents gave it to you. Their parents gave it to them. Generation after generation passing down the same disease disguised as wisdom. This virus has a name. It is called a money lie, and it is silently sabotaging every financial decision you make in 2026. You budget around it, you earn around it, you invest around it, never realizing the lie is the reason you cannot get ahead no matter how hard you try. Today I am performing surgery. We are removing the virus. And once it is gone, you will finally understand why wealth felt impossible until now. I need to warn you about something before we begin. What I am about to share might make you uncomfortable. It might challenge beliefs you have held your entire life. It might even make you defensive at first. That defensiveness is the virus protecting itself. Push through it. On the other side is financial clarity you have never experienced. Our parents did the best they could with what they knew. I am not here to blame them. But I am here to acknowledge that well-meaning people can pass down devastating beliefs without realizing it. And those beliefs do not disappear when we become adults. They burrow deeper. They disguise themselves as common sense. They feel like truth because we have never known anything else. Today we expose them. Today we extract them. Today we replace them with beliefs that actually build wealth. Subscribe and hit that like button right now because this videos might be the most important financial content you ever watch. Not because of tactics or strategies, but because it addresses the root cause that makes all tactics and strategies fail. Let me explain how money lies get installed in the first place. Between ages 0 and 7, your brain operates primarily in theta wave state. This is essentially a hypnotic trance where information bypasses critical thinking and downloads directly into your subconscious. You have no filter, no ability to evaluate whether incoming information is true or false. Everything lands as absolute truth. During this window, you absorbed beliefs about money constantly, from words spoken directly to you, from conversations overheard between adults, from the emotional energy around financial discussions, from what was present and what was absent, from what was celebrated and what was shamed. You did not choose these beliefs. You could not reject them. They simply installed themselves into your mental operating system like softwares you never agreed to download. And they have been running in the background ever since, determining your financial thermostat, setting your wealth ceiling, creating self-sabotage patterns you cannot see because they feel like normal thinking. The cruel irony is that your parents received the same programming from their parents, who received it from their parents. The virus travels through bloodlines for generations, each carrier believing they are simply being practical or realistic or wise, never realizing they are infecting the next generation with the same limitations. Let me reveal the most common money lies still destroying lives in 2026. Listen carefully, because at least one of these is living inside you right now. The first money lie is that money is hard to get. You heard this in different forms throughout childhood. Money does not grow on trees. You have to work hard for every dollar. Nothing comes easy. Life is a struggle. These phrases seem harmless. They seem like they are teaching work ethic and responsibility. But the subconscious mind processes them differently. The subconscious mind takes these statements literally and creates beliefs that money must involve suffering, that earning requires struggle, that if something comes easily, it must not be valuable or must be taken away. When you carry this virus, you unconsciously reject opportunities that feel too easy. You sabotage income streams that flow without grinding. You distrust wealth that arrives through leverage or systems or passive income. It does not feel earned because it did not hurt enough. I have watched people destroy businesses that were working because success felt uncomfortable. I have seen investors sell winning positions because the gains felt undeserved. I have witnessed employees undermine their own promotions because rising felt like cheating somehow. The truth is that money is neither hard nor easy to get. Money flows toward value creation. Sometimes creating value requires intense effort. Sometimes it requires smart positioning. Sometimes it requires building systems that work without you. The difficulty is irrelevant. The value is what matters. If you carries virus, you must deliberately expose yourself to examples of money arriving easily. Study passive income. Study leverage. Study people who work fewer hours while earning more. Retrain your brain to accept that ease and wealth can coexist. The second money lie is that wanting money makes you greedy. Religious households often transmitted this virus. Money is the root of all evil. The love of money corrupts. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. Blessed are the poor. Even non-religious households transmitted versions of this lie. Rich people are selfish. They got wealthy by exploiting others. Money changes people for the worse. Stay humble. Do not want too much. When this virus infects you, it creates an impossible situation. You need money to survive and thrive in modern society. But wanting money makes you morally compromised. So you develop a conflicted relationship where you need money, but feel ashamed of wanting it. You pursue wealth whilst simultaneously sabotaging your pursuit. You cannot fully commit because commitment would mean admitting you want something bad. The truth is that money is morally neutral. It is a tool. A hammer can build a house or breaks a skull. The hammer is not good or evil. The wielder determines the outcome. Money in the hands of good people does good things. It funds education and healthcare and opportunity. It supports families and communities. It creates jobs and innovation. Wanting money does not make you greedy. It makes you someone who understands how the world works and wants resources to create impact. If you carry this virus, you must reframe wealth as responsibility rather than indulgence. Imagine what you could give, who you could help, what problems you could solve. Make wealth a moral imperative rather than a moral failure. The third money lie is that there is not enough to go around. This scarcity virus often infected households where money was genuinely tight. Every purchase was scrutinized. Every expense created stress. Parents argued about bills. The emotional atmosphere communicated constantly that resources were scarce and must be protected. Children in these environments learned that money is a fixed pie. If someone else gets a bigger slice, you get a smaller one. Wealth is a zero-sum game where winners create losers. This virus creates devastating patterns in adulthood. You resent successful people because their success feels like your loss. You hoard money instead of investing it because deployment feels like depletion. You negotiate weakly because asking for more seems like taking from others. You feel guilty about earning well because someone somewhere must be losing for you to win. The truth is that wealth is not a fixed pie. It is created constantly through innovation and value exchange. When you start a business that solves problems, you create wealth that did not exist before. When you invest in companies that grow, you participate in wealth creation, not wealth redistribution. More importantly, your wealth does not require anyone else's poverty. The economy is not zero-sum. Your success can coexist with and even contribute to the success of others. If you carry this virus, you must study wealth creation until you understand it viscerally. See how entrepreneurs create value from nothing. See how innovations expands the total pie. Replace the zero-sum mental model with an abundance mental model grounded in economic reality. The fourth money lie is that you do not deserve wealth. This virus often infected households with shame around money. Parents who felt like failures financially transmitted that energy to children. Households where asking for things was discouraged. Environments where children learned to minimize their needs and wants. The message absorbed was clear. You are not the kind of person who has money. People like us do not become wealthy. Stay small. Do not want too much. Who do you think you are? When this virus lives in you, it creates a wealth ceiling you cannot see. You might build up money temporarily, but something always happens to bring you back down. A bad investment, an unexpected expense, a series of poor decisions. The self-sabotage feels like bad luck, but it is actually your subconscious enforcing the belief that you do not deserve to have more. This virus is particularly cruel because it hides behind humility. You tell yourself you are not materialistic. You do not need much. You are simple. These feel like virtues, but they are actually limitation, disguised as values. The truth is that deserving is not real in any cosmic sense. No one deserves anything. No one is entitled to anything. But also, no rule exists saying you must stay poor. No law requires you to struggle. No universal principle demands you remain small. Wealth goes to those who create value and manage resources well. If you do these things, you will build wealth. Whether you deserve it is an irrelevant question invented by the virus to keep you stuck. If you carry this virus, you must deliberately practice receiving. Practice accepting compliments without deflecting. Practice raising prices without guilt. Practice asking for raises without apologizing. Train your nervous system to tolerate having more. The fifth money lie is that talking about money is shameful. Many households treated money as a forbidden topic. Parents whispered about finances behind closed doors. Children learned that asking about money was inappropriate. The clear message was that money is shameful and secretive. Polite people do not discuss it. This virus creates financial ignorance that perpetuates across generations. You never learn how money actually works because no one will talk about it. You make preventable mistakes because you cannot ask for guidance. You have no idea whether your situation is normal or disastrous because comparison is taboo. Wealthy families discuss money openly. They teach children about investing and business and financial strategy. They normalize wealth conversations. This is not rude or crass. It is educational. The silence around money in other households is not politeness. It is a handicap disguised as manners. The truth is that money is just information, numbers, data points. Discussing money is no different than discussing any other important topic. The shame around these conversations serves no one except those who benefit from your ignorance. If you carry this virus, you must deliberately start financial conversations. Talk to friends about money. Ask successful people how they built wealth. Discuss numbers openly with your partner. Break the silence that keeps generations trapped. Now let me show you how to extract these viruses permanently. The first step is identification. Which lies live in you? As I described each one, did any create emotional reactions? Defensiveness, recognition, discomfort. These reactions indicate infection. The lies that triggered you are the ones you carry. Write them down. Make them explicit. Bring them from the subconscious shadows into conscious awareness. The virus loses power when you can see it clearly. The second step is tracing the origin. Where did this lie come from? What specific memories connect to this belief? What did you hear? What did you witness? What was the emotional atmosphere around money in your childhood home? This is not about blaming your parents. This is about understanding that the belief is not yours. It was installed. It was inherited. It does not represent truth. It represents programming that can be changed. The third step is gathering counter evidence. The lies persist because you have selectively noticed confirming evidence for years. Now deliberately seek disconfirming evidence. If you believe money is hard to get, study people who earn easily through systems and leverage. If you believe wanting money is greedy, study philanthropists who need wealth to do good. If you believe there is not enough, study economic growth and wealth creation. If you believe you do not deserve it, study people from backgrounds worse than yours who built fortunes. The fourth step is installing new beliefs deliberately. Write out the truth that replaces each lie. Read it daily. Speak it aloud. Visualize yourself operating from this new belief. Money flows to me through value creation, not just struggle. Wanting wealth makes me resourceful, not greedy. Abundance is real, and my wealth does not diminish anyone's else. I am capable of having and holding significant wealth. Talking about money is wise and necessary. Repetition rewrites programming. Your subconscious learned the lies through repetition. It will learn the truth the same way. The fifth step is taking aligned action immediately. Beliefs shift faster when accompanied by behavior change. If you identified with the scarcity lie, make a generous donation this week. If you identified with the shame lie, have a financial conversation with someone you trust. If you identified with the deserving lie, raise your prices or ask for a raise. Action creates evidence. Evidence reinforces belief. Belief generates more action. The flywheel spins toward wealth instead of away from it. I cannot promise overnight transformation. These lies have been running for decades. Extracting them requires patience and persistence. But I can promise that awareness alone changes everything. Once you see the virus, you cannot unsee it. Once you recognize the lie operating, you can choose differently. You are not destined to repeat your family's financial patterns. You are not trapped by programming installed before you could consent. You are not broken or flawed or incapable of wealth. You were simply carrying a virus you did not know you had. Now you know. The surgery is complete. The virus is exposed. What you do next determines whether it regains control or dies forever. If this video revealed something you have been carrying your whole life, subscribe, because I expose the hidden forces that keep people broke and show how to overcome them. Drop a comment telling me which money lie you recognized in yourself. Share this with someone still infected who needs to see the truth. Your parents did their best. Their parents did their best. But best is not the same as right. And you do not have to pass this virus to the next generation. End the cycle. Build the wealth. Prove the lies wrong. I will see you in the next video.